LegacyMaker, the All Sports Network.
Hello everybody, Darrell, Owens, LegacyMaker Sports Network. We're here day 5 of Redskins training camp here at Bond Secure Redskins training camp in Richmond, Virginia. Beside me today, Mr. Drew Willingham. How you doing today, Drew?
Doing pretty good.
It's been a pretty good day so far. Very hot, but it's a little bit different. And you look at temperature-wise, you wouldn't think it's that way. Like we out here this weekend, it was like 86, but it felt beautiful. It's 84 today, and it feels way hotter than it did that time. But Drew, what were your thoughts on what we saw today at training camp?
Well, my favorite thing was seeing Jordan Reed get back on the field today, looking good, moving around real well, catching balls real well. Everybody's put in a lot of good work today. Still no Trent Williams, but everybody else is putting in work. Even AP's doing a little bit more in productivity today than he was on Sunday. So looks like that day off helped everybody out.
I'll tell you who I like today, and he's one of the – there's two guys that I really like on the receiving core. I have a lot of love for this receiving core, but Terry McLaren had that beautiful catch that we saw right towards the end. And Cam Sims, who made a really tough catch against Jimmy Moreland. There's something about Cam Sims. I can't put my finger on it yet, but I know him and Robert Davis are battling for that 4 and 5 spot, but there's something special about him. I really like Cam Sims. Now, on the defensive front, it seems like Jonathan Allen is really starting to take a bigger leadership role on this team. What do you expect from Jonathan Allen this year?
We definitely need to see a little bit more of the leadership, too, because the defense has been fluctuating over the past few years. Offense has been steadily progressing, but the defense has been going up and down, so it would be nice to see if he can help out with the leadership on that side of the locker room.
All right, y'all. Well, that's it here. Day 5, Redskins training camp. I'm Darrell Owens, Drew Willingham. We're going to bring you our highlights and videos, so stay tuned.
It certainly seemed like Dwayne had his best day on Sunday. When you went back and watched all the practice tape, what did you make of all three quarterbacks, but more in depth maybe a little bit on Dwayne?
Yeah, they had a good day. All three of them had a good day. Not so great for our defense, but that's the way it works. When our offense struggles, it means our defense is playing good and vice versa. So all three quarterbacks got a little bit of rhythm, anticipated some throws. Guys got open for them and made plays. But Dwayne did a nice job.
Say was the reason that there was a pickup with all three quarterbacks. Why do you think they were more comfortable on day 4? What do you think that they've taken from the first 3 days and were able to translate to day 4?
Well, we were working a lot of red zone day 4. Got some good opportunities for him to make some throws. Protection was pretty good. So, just a process. Got to move on to the next day after today, after Saturday, Sunday, whatever it was, and today's a new day, new challenges.
Coach Gruden, can you speak on Cam Sims, his development? Is he strictly learning one wide receiver position, or is he learning all three?
We got him right now playing one, but I think he can play both outside spots. I wouldn't put him inside right now, but he's doing a great job. He really is. He's looks like he's got his legs underneath him. He's making big plays when it presents itself. He's got long arms, physical guy, can block, but he's also showing the ability to get down the field, which is a good thing. Having a great camp so far.
With Tim Settle had a nice preseason last year. He's kind of stuck behind those big boys in front of him in the lineup, though. What do you tell him about waiting for his chance?
I think he's going to play a lot. I think when it's all said and done, some of the better defensive line groups have had strong rotations. Some people don't understand that, but Dave, if you can mix in Settle and Caleb Brantley to give Jonathan and Payne and Ioannidis a blow, it's a great thing. Keep those guys fresh, keep them rolling. He's going to play a lot. He's doing a great job. He's got so much stronger from the first time I met him to now. He's really put a lot of work in the weight room with Chad and Jonathan, Ioannidis, and Payne. You have to follow suit with those three guys. You won't make it very long.
Jay, you told us back in May that you're, over to your left, that you're one of Josh Doxson's biggest supporters. I think it'd be easy to write him off after his first 4 years. What do you see in him in still supporting him?
Yeah, I think he just continued to progress like all young football players. Just needs to get better and develop. And, his first year was a wash. He got hurt. He had 2 bad Achilles. I mean, it's not his fault. I mean, it's happened to a lot of guys. And then, had the quarterback issues last year. But, we just got to do a better job of trying to get him some balls, especially those 50-50 balls that I've been talking about. And he's got to be a more dominant force in the red zone, which would be huge. But, again, when you have Jordan and Chris and Terry, or we had Crowder last year, he may not be the first look on all these plays. We get man-to-man matchups. We might like Jordan versus a safety or backer as the first progression, or Crowder versus the nickel in the first progression, or Chris Thompson versus the backer. So he has very seldom been the number one progression on any of these plays. He's part of the progression, but when you get man-to-man, he's usually second or third, and that could change. The more we get him some opportunities, the quarterbacks feel comfortable with him. Case and obviously Colt, and now Dwayne.
What have you seen so far from Jimmy Moreland here at camp, and how do you think he's adapting to the program?
He's done a good job. He's playing outside and inside. The versatility is huge for the nickel cornerback position. Stroman's doing the same thing. Fabian's doing the same thing. So it's critical for them to learn both. And coming from JMU, he was well coached out there. He plays great ball skills. We mentioned that before and seen it already. But he just got to continue to work and get better, which he is.
Somebody's got to ask. Any Trent Williams update?
No. If there was, I'd tell you.
Appreciate
How about that? If I don't tell you, then there isn't.
Deal.
With the new pass interference that you can challenge it rule, what have you guys discussed about how you want to approach that?
Wow, that is a good one. That's you're going to have Coach Calvin on the box watching very closely just for PIs, and obviously other challenges that already are part of the game. So it's going to be a very stressful deal for us. It's got to be obviously blatant for them to overturn a call or to put a flag on a field, but something we got to watch out for. These plays are huge, and then you have to decide what play is big enough to challenge, where you don't want to waste a challenge maybe on a 12-yard gain, but if it's a 12-yard gain on 3rd down and 8, then maybe you do if it keeps the drive going. So it's going to be something we have to discuss and when and how to use them. You also don't want to be stuck with 3 timeouts and 3 challenge flags at the end of the game and not use them. So it's going to be an interesting dilemma for a lot of coaches, for all coaches.
What's a pre-snap read? What are some of the things that you look at pre-snap when you're trying to figure out what the offense is going to do?
From anything from receivers alignment to tight end on off the ball, look at the running back splits, if the tackle's hands in the ground or he's standing up tall, just a lot of things that factor in.
Jimmy Moreland had what would have been a pick 6, Quentin Dunbar 2 picks the other day. You got Jano out there, Orlando. I mean, the secondary is pretty elite. What do they bring and how do they help you out?
They bring definitely a lot of diversity. Got a great group of guys. They come out every day. They getting challenged. They're challenging us. We're challenging them. So, I just love how those guys come ready to work every single day. Just got to keep them better.
How good can this group be, though? It seems like you guys are getting a lot of looks, a lot of publicity.
We can be really good, but all that is right for us. And so it's important that each day we come in, every day get better. We can't read the limelight and we're supposed to do this, supposed to do that, or we could be this, be that. We got to come ready to work every single day.
Like I said,
a lot of those guys are saying, hey, he's from JMU. He didn't play at Alabama. He didn't play at Florida. He didn't play at LSU. Do you feel like you have to work any harder because of that, or did that prepare you any different for this?
Not really. Just add fuel to the fire. A lot of great players in this league, not from big schools. You just got to come in with the same work ethic. Let them know that you got the same talent as them. You made it here for a reason, just like everyone else did. So just focus in on better yourself every day.
And what about just having the pads on and being able to show? Because I know Coach even teased, all right, Jimmy, you can do this without pads, but let's see what happens when you actually put them on.
I think I'm showing him that I can be physical as well. He just waiting to see that. I'm improving it every day. And just hopefully I'm getting better.
And I'm here. You're not afraid to talk, do a little trash talking. Who do you do that mostly with?
We do mostly with the receivers. It's not really a trash talk. Just competitive. That's all it is to it.
Has anything surprised you about your first kind of 4 or 5 days of training camp?
Not really. You know, I've been with the guys with OTAs. You know, nothing really surprised me. You know, everyone out here working. That's all. You know, we're just trying to be a great group this year. You know, we had a lot of injuries last year. You know, we're trying to cut down on those. And, you know, we're just trying to be a great team like this year, as I said.
So far through training camp, what has been your assessment of the additions of Montez Sweat, Cole Holcomb? I saw he was in the hole getting after it. It seems like you guys opened things up for a lot of these guys, making it really easy. So what's been your assessment of the rookie class and just in general how you guys have gelled together? Ioannidis, Payne, you all across the line.
I've been very impressed with how developed they are. You know, usually when rookies come in, they're not that fundamentally sound. So that just shows a testament to their college and where they came from and how well they've been coached up to this point. Because they're coming in, they hit the ground with their feet running. So I'm very impressed with that. Not to mention they're very physical and they're just honestly, if I didn't know any better, I wouldn't know they were rookies.
You guys don't have your offensive and defensive captains returning this year. A couple guys mentioned your name when they talked about leadership. Are you trying to take over extra responsibility or be a leader for this team?
I mean, if I'm put into that position, great, but I'm not making it a priority. I'm just trying to win games. So however I can do that, I'm tired of losing. Honestly, what it comes down to. I hate losing more than I like winning. So I'm just trying to help this team win. And if they view me as a captain, great. But I'm just trying to do everything I can to help this organization win.
Jonathan, over here. How are you feeling going into your third year, health-wise and maturity-wise, as far as the playbook? How do you feel? Are you more comfortable now versus when you came in year one? Do you feel yourself as the wily vet? Just assess yourself in year three.
I wouldn't say I'm like a wily vet. I definitely feel confident. When you go into your third year, you pretty much have an understanding of the playbook, and that's when you can expand your understanding to the DBs and the linebackers, and you really get a feel for the whole scheme. And really going into your third year, for me personally, it's just, since I know the plays, I can just focus on just playing faster, more aggressive, more confident. So camp's been going good. I feel healthy, and I'm ready to play some ball.
And taking over that mic role, calling the signals. How's the communication going? And then also that kind of extends to Landon on the back end. What has he brought from the communicative standpoint of things?
It's been good so far. I mean, you never really know until you get into that true home game, because that's when the crowd's really a big factor. The crowd's not a factor right now. So for the most part, up until the point, the communication has been great, but it's day five of camp, day 6 of camp, so we're definitely nowhere near where we need to be. And I mean, we're not worried about anything except this practice, so I got to go back, look at the film, see how we did. But from the field, from what I could see, it looked like we did a pretty okay job of it.
On Sunday, you guys didn't have a great day. And what were you focusing on today, and how do you think, obviously without watching the tape, how do you think you did correcting those things?
As a defense, I feel like we did a lot better. Really, I just feel like as a defense, we should come out here and try to correct the little mistakes we did. When it comes to giving up plays on defense, it's never big plays that affects you. It's always doing the little things right, not communicating or a lack of communication, not running to the ball, guys not playing blocks the right way, fitting off each other right. So we try to focus on the little things, what we can do to help, because we feel like if you do the little things right, the big things will take care of themselves.
So Chip in the back. Jonathan back here. Coming off the off day, what did you spend the off day doing yesterday? I'm curious because I talked to Chris. He said he was playing his video game, says you're actually a bigger gamer than he's ever known.
So I actually didn't play games. I slept until about noon. Then I woke up, squatted heavy, worked out, came back, slept until dinner, ate dinner, and slept some more. Get ready for practice.
Rainbow Six Siege?
No, not today.
But it was an off-season activity for a lot of NFL players. They really have picked that up as something to kind of let loose a little bit. Chris told me it's just a way to get that competitive edge out. Is that something you see it as well while you're streaming too?
100% is where I get my fix. I mean, I always got to be competing no matter what it is. So, I mean, if it's not competitive or something I can compete in, I don't really find it enjoyable.
John, you said doing the little things in practice is what ultimately leads to success later on. Do you guys on the defensive line and as a defense overall, do you guys feel like you've been getting good work? I know the offensive line has been kind of rotating different guys around. Do you guys feel like you've been getting good work so far in training camp with some of the moving parts?
100%. You know, as a defensive line, it doesn't really matter who we go against. Obviously, I mean, most Trent's not here, some of the starters aren't here, where they're rotating a lot, but at the same time, it's about what we do. And I genuinely feel that. I mean, going back to college, Coach Saban used to always say, it's not about what we do. So to me, it doesn't matter who I line up against. I'm going to try to do the same thing, play with the same aggression, the same physicality, and I'm going to get my work in regardless.